sales. So that's so now the first knowledge product that we have. And see the logo down there. So before starting, I'd just like to begin with a rhetorical question. Just a food for thought. So what is the extra thing you would do if you had 1 extra hour per day? Say instead of 24 hours, you had 25 hours. What's that 1 extra thing you do? Just think about it. Something to process over. Sometimes you think we need extra hours, but really we just need to be better in time management. Yeah, but just think about it. So this webinar, we shall be talking about mending the engagement gap. So I want to believe that you are here today because you thought employee improvement was lacking and was lacking a significant level of importance that you think is valuable. You also probably recognize how damaging and expensive employee engagement can be, especially today in this changing time. You're also here because you want to help your employees adapt to the new normal in the new environment that allows them to realize their highest potential and fully engage with their work. You're here because you want to understand how to engage your employees when they're all working remotely or hybrid, because there's a lot that has been happening over the years, especially since after the COVID era. So how do you engage your managers and leaders to lead others during times of uncertainty? How to equip virtual teams to continue to operate collaboratively while leaning on strength when things are difficult. So those are some of the things that we're going to be tackling tonight, just to see, okay, so how do we build employee engagement in our working setup today? As we get started, I want you to think about a recent period of turbulence. It could be what you're experiencing today or what caused you to want to join this session. If it helps, you can close your eyes. If not, that's also fine. Either way, picture yourself one day when life is normal, probably how things were traditionally, and then also picture how things are today. So imagine those scenarios, yeah? One time when things were quote unquote normal, and then you open your eyes to the new reality of where you are today. This reality could be temporary or long term, but either way, to you and to your co-workers, this is a new reality. It's something that is different from what you are used to. So let me just do 2 seconds to picture that. And hold that imagination close to you as you proceed, yeah? Okay. So now, after that, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Number one, what can I do to help my employees be fully productive in this period of turbulence? Yeah. Do I need to clarify expectations as they adjust to the change? What information or resources will they need? How do I keep them connected, working in their new environment? How do I coach them as they make this transition? And finally, what do I need to do to create a positive work environment where they can thrive and they meet or exceed expectations? So these are important questions that usually come up and are related to employee engagement that I would like you to just review and think through. It doesn't have, maybe you're an employee and not really overseeing a company or a team. You can think through this question for yourself. Like, what can you do as an individual to be more productive in this period of turbulence? You need the expectations to be clarified for you. Do you feel like you need more resources or information that can help you be more productive? How do you stay connected in this changing time? Do you think that you'd like coaching that will help you be more productive? And what can you work on? That will affect your working environment and improve how you produce. Doesn't have to affect you directly, and also affect your colleagues. Like, what can you work on when it comes to working environment that you're in? So I believe you noted those questions because they will come in handy as we progress. So today we are going to learn about one, why employee engagement. And then two, we're going to learn about what 5 conditions allow employees to engage with their work and drive results given the changes. Then number 3, we're going to learn about the full value of PXT Select as a tool for nurturing, engaging, and developing your workforce success. So the thing is about disengagement, it's a hard problem to fix. And during a time of crisis, during times of economic uncertainty, employee disengagement can be a tough thing to handle. According to Jacob Morgan, one of the world's leading authorities on the future of work, he says the big problem with employee engagement is that companies treat employee engagement as if it's the root cause of something. And so they treat employee engagement directly by spending billions of shillings on engagement programs, only to experience a disappointing return on investment and low engagement scores. So in Jacob's words, the employee experience is actually the cost. An engaged workforce is the effect, is the byproduct of a good employee. Once someone has a good employee experience, then the engagement to work becomes a default. Yeah. So organizations can do it right. Organizations can do it right, focus on their people. They know that when they create great employee experiences, they unlock discretionary effort where employees feel safe, they feel trusted, and they go above and beyond to create better customer experience. And this affects results directly, improving the company's performance. So they know that when they lead and support their employees during difficult times, uncertain times, employees will recognize their effort and give out their best. So this can look different for different companies. It may look like extending studies to employees where they get to prove themselves in different fields. It may look like allowing employees to work from home because today that's something that is actually that has been today, or maybe hybrid. It may look different, just seeing what works best for your organization. That will also improve the employee experience of your people, and as a result, improve the revenue of the company, because as we will get to see, employee engagement does affect numbers. It's not just all about good feeling and happy vibes. So the fact, with Gallup, there's a study by Gallup that was done in 2017, and through that study, it was seen that 52% of people are actually engaged at work. 30% of employees are engaged, and 18% are actively engaged. This latest finding indicates that 70% of workers are either unengaged or actively disengaged, emotionally disconnected, and less likely to be productive. So you want your team to fall under the engaged sector. And even though these studies were done in 1732, the state of employee engagement is not changing. As we begin a new decade, Gallup, the same guy Gallup continued to report that 70% of workers are not engaged at work. And we're going to share this link with you just so that you can read for yourself and get to it. And who are engaged employees? These are employees who are highly involved in and enthusiastic about their work and workplace. They are psychological owners, drive performance, and move the organization forward. When you talk about not engaged employees, these are employees who are psychologically unattached to their work at company because their engagement is not being fully met. They are putting time, but not energy or passion to their work. Then finally, we have the actively engaged people. These employees that aren't just happy at work, they are resentful that their needs aren't met and are acting out their unhappiness. Every day, these workers potentially undermine what the engaged workers accomplish. And that is not the kind of energy that is. So, then we get to ask ourselves, how far do you think a team can be if we have some who are engaged, some who are not engaged, and some who are quite partially engaged? Like, if you have guys who are putting in all their effort, guys who are partially invested, and those who are completely unattached, then what kind of setup will that look like? And so let's imagine employee engagement. Yeah, if we represent the workforce as a 10-person bicycle, then 3 people would be pedaling the bicycle. Yeah, 5 people would be pretending to pedal, and 2, the actively engaged, will be jamming the brakes. So how far do you think?
Mwambie asiweke, nilisema nimeingia meeting mpaka nitoke.
Giving it their all. Some who are pretending, but actually aren't doing anything, and those who are actually even bothered. And through statistics, we get to see that, again, through the research study that was done by Gallup, that employees who are not engaged or who are actively engaged cost the world $7.8 in lost productivity. That's equal to like 11% of global GDP. So how do you think that looks like for our country, Kenya, and for your organization? So engagement is not just a buzzword or a biting metaphor. Engagement is a real factor that can make or break a company's success. So disengaged and satisfied workers are less productive, less creative, and more likely to leave. And also, of this, costing it. So the bottom line is, disengaged employees are costing you money and affecting your profit. The hard note reality is that if you do nothing to help your employees engagement, you're wasting money. Each disengaged employee actually costs you 34% of their salary because of their lost productivity, missed shifts, chronic tardiness, and distracting others by speaking negatively throughout the company. So actively disengaged employees are miserable in their workplace and destroy the positive benefits engaged employees work so hard to build for the company. So businesses often think that employee engagement is about satisfaction and happiness, but it goes much deeper than that. Employee disengagement involves how much workers want to be engaged in their business, be proactive about their schedule, and be positive about where the company is going and how they treat their coworkers. Yeah. So what do we do? As I mentioned, there are 5 conditions for stronger employee experience, including turbulent times. So this is according to Josh Basil, a world-renowned industry HR analyst and founder of Basil Employee. So he is the one who, there's actually an article which I'm going to share with you, where he mentions these 5 conditions, and they include 1, employee performing work that is meaningful to them. 2, having hands-on management. 3, working in a positive work environment. 4, having opportunities to grow personally. And finally, trusting the leadership in their organization. So in our time together here, we're going to explain what is needed to create each of the 5 conditions that result in a stronger employee experience. The goal, as mentioned, by now, Jacob, the guy I mentioned, who talked about how employee experience and employee engagement are related, is to boost employee experience. Because employee experience is the cause of employee disengagement. We'll also demonstrate for you how actionable data from the Select assessment that we offer can be a catalyst for creating a stronger employee experience. Engagement is achieved when employees have a positive work experience, and this results in the organization achieving increased employee engagement, which has a positive impact on the bottom line results, which is the goal that we want. So we'll begin with the first one, meaningful work experience. The first and perhaps most important part of employee engagement is the employee finding work that is meaningful. When you love what you do and you're good at what you're doing, everyone, you win and the organization wins. So how do you accomplish good work? It starts with 1, job fit. So this is all about putting people in their roles and building on talent, skills, and where they're most likely to, building talent, skills, and where they're most likely to. So when you hire people who fit and perform their jobs well and love doing it, then you don't have to worry about people being demotivated or doing the bare minimum. However, people who are who are a great fit to a role must also give them the tool and autonomy they need. Here we're talking about resources. They also need to be empowered to make decisions individually or in small teams, and the company needs to invest time and effort to develop people's skills and talent. We have time slack. This is mostly or majorly undermined, but honestly, everyone needs time to think and create. Overworked employees tend to burn out, which leads to lower service levels, increased tension, and negative culture. You really don't want that. So the missing link is most guys think that most companies think that they can accomplish meaningful work by focusing on the candidate skills, that is education, training, experience, and skills, and also focusing on companies. That is now the attitude of the company, values of the company, appearance, and integrity. But really what you need is a blend of the two. So the reality is that in order for employees to truly find meaningful work, organizations need to measure job fit. When people fit the job, all those attributes we just mentioned, autonomy, empowerment, working well in teams, have high probability of being accomplished. So with job fit data, organizations have accurate and reliable information to predict future job success. It becomes the match between skills and company fit, because you get to look at how a cognitive ability of role that they're about to fit into We get to see how the behavioral trait matches with the company's working culture, and we get to see whether they will actually get to enjoy their work with a motivational interest. So tools such as resumes, interviews, 360 reviews, and year-end appraisals focus on past and current behavior. But none of these resources provide a comprehensive prediction of an individual's future performance given goals. And hence, PXT Select is that's where now PXT Select comes in. So it uses psychometric data and a validated methodology to measure job fit, which can greatly assist in predicting future job success. Remember here, we're looking at people enjoying their work, people finding meaning in their work. And so you want to bring in someone in the organization during hiring who actually blends what is required of this job role, not just to getting the required education or having the necessary skills, but actually someone who will love their job and love what they're doing. So we get to look at can they do the job? Yeah, do they have the cognitive abilities as I've mentioned? How do they do the job? Do their behavioral traits match up to the working culture? It's a fast-paced organization. Will they be able to catch up with the pace? Finally, do they enjoy it? Will they love their job? Or will they be like as yesterday, disengaged, fully engaged employees who just do the bare minimum or even become a poison to the rest of the employees because of the bad energy that they bring forward? So we're looking at a match between individual characteristics and the job requirements to give you now the job. So to establish objectives, we start by gathering information needed to paint a picture for what the ideal candidate looks like. So this is step one, and it's extremely important because if you don't know, if you don't know who you're for, how do you know if the person in front of you is the right person for the job or the wrong person? Yeah. Whether you're sitting a senior executive, mid-level manager, an individual contributor, it's important to first of all understand the ideal person, like who exactly are you picturing to bring on board to the organization. So the Select is a psychometric tool that helps to identify the traits and behaviors required to perform a job successfully by helping you think and determine targets across 20 different cognitive skills, behavioral traits, and motivational interests. So these targets are also known as performance models. That's what you're actually seeing on screen. So they help determine the range of scores typical for success in the position you're trying to fill. As we're seeing in today's economic environment, people working remotely and operating very differently to what is we can call a traditional business setting. They're all being asked to stretch and operate on all these traits in very unique ways. So building a performance model for a situation like the one we are in today might look very different to what it would be. It would be building a performance model for a traditional business environment. For example, it may require people to operate in a more assertive, more independent manner. It may require people to be more trusting or even be more aware of when they need to work at a steadier or more urgent pace. Oh, sorry. I've been informed that there's a lot of echo. My apologies for that. Let me see how we can So you tried testing the error. I hope audio becomes clearer. Or it's clearer now. Yes. So yeah, so the select performance model is basically a reflection of what the organization is looking for. Like I had mentioned, um, a picture of the ideal candidate, the person who would like to bring on board. So having this set becomes really helpful because it gives you a guideline um, that every other candidate who is applying for a specific job role is benchmarked against. So helping you bringing on board people who are actually fit for the job role, not just in terms of having the technical skills required, but who actually love the job and who blend into the organizational culture of the company. So once a candidate takes the PXT Select assessment, it creates a personalized profile that compares their personal characteristics against the performance model. So the higher the number, the closer the fit. In this example, we are looking at Oliver Chase, this example report results. His individual characteristics are highlighted by his initials and are benchmarked against the job requirements. So highlighted in the shaded areas are now the result of Oliver Chase sample. As you can see, it's a good match. Usually say match that is above 80 is actually a good match because the closer you are to the performance model, then it means you're actually meeting the requirements of what another position is looking for. So an environment like this where talent and ability match the job, will will have a higher likelihood of being engaged and finding meaningful job. And that is what you actually look for. So assessment data helps create a personalized profile that compares a person's against the performance model. And then the next thing we're going to look at now is the second piece, one of the second condition of improving employee experience. And this is now hands-on experience. So this condition is one business and HR leaders need to think. One of the conditions that businesses and HR leaders need to think about the most, management. We use the word management here and not leadership to refer to the daily, weekly, and monthly activities managers use to guide, support, and analyze. So you find that managers engage the most with the people that they're working with because they are actually hands-on to them, not just per quarterly, but actually on a daily, on a week. Yeah. So I'd like to ask you, how many times have you had the case people don't leave jobs, they leave managers who fail to support them? A good manager is someone who isn't worried about their own career, but rather the careers of their people. And that is what we want for the managers in our organization, for the people who are actually aiming to build the career experience of the people that they're leading, their direct. So support managers establish clear and stable goals, prioritize activities, recognize efforts, and coach employees to success. So um, during times of change, it's critical. It is critically important. When there's uncertainty, a fear of risk, when business is not doing well or there's potential it should do well, managers and leaders must stay connected with their employees. They must understand how to play their strengths, to drive results, support them where they might start. So for an executive to have great leaders, they need to do one, they need to match. First of all, it's important to match the right individual to the right managerial position. Just because someone is a great individual contributor doesn't mean that they will be a great manager. So when organizations fail to place managers in the right roles, issues arise and cause under-supported workers to drip out of the organization's talent pool. This is not something that you want. So this takes us back to job fit. which is the one that we just talked about. Yeah. So ensuring that the person that you're actually bringing on board aligns to what you're looking for. And now it applies to the aspect of managers. Secondly, they need to help their managers. For instance, to help their manager coach on board and nurture the success of the people on their team. A great manager helps establish clear and realistic goals and holds their team accountable. Yeah, they prioritize activities, recognize efforts, and coach employees to success. So when managers struggle to leverage the skills of the individuals, they run the risk of increasing turnover and engagement. Yeah. So we're going to look at actionable data from the PXT Select and see how the relationship between manager and employee and how this plays out in building employee engagement. So from what you're seeing, is now a summary of what the PXT report provides for you, the PXT manager employee report. So hands-on management is all about the manager knowing him or herself and knowing the employee, understanding their tendencies to bring out the best in both of them. So looking now at the manager employee report, this report compares the manager results with those of the candidates or the employees. So the report provides insights where there are challenges and opportunities or where things go well. This is a great tool for developing awareness and strong relationships between managers and employees right from the start. So you can see OC is where all the chase is, and now the UB is the manager. And there is now the differences laid out all across the assessment competencies, telling you where the manager lies and where the Oliver Chase lies. So from here, just key tips on what to work on in order to build the relationship between the manager and the employee. And this is something that, as we have seen, has become crucial for people in what they're looking for to experience in organizations. They're looking for managers who actually hands-on with them, who can build them in their ladder, the career ladder, to grow and be better. So it's a really, really great tool for developing strong manager-employee relationship. Now we look at the coaching report, another report that you get to receive with the Select. So this report provides the manager with a deep understanding of Oliver's motivation, strengths, and challenge areas. This report provides the manager with useful tips on how Oliver approaches different aspects of his role, maximize performance, and drive optimal results. For example, now, for the role of operations manager, Oliver is less brochure than what the position requires. You can see here some insights about him and how the manager can coach and develop him. So he can develop him so that he can stretch out of his comfort zone and optimize performance of this given role. So these insights and tips will be different for a different role, where a lower degree of sociability might be key. The key here is personalization. With our solution and the knowledge and the expertise that the PXT Select brings on board, we provide personalized data and insights on how to develop and coach and get the most out of your people in whatever job they have. So the report includes bullet points for what you need to know about the employee as it relates to his particular skill. Then there are management tips, the management tips section to help guide the manager in working with the candidate, in this case, Oliver. And now, finally, this is of the bottom line. If you have to pick just one thing to remember about someone or about as a manager wants to pick one thing they want to remember about their direct report, then they can look at this tip. So when you look at now this report of Oliver Chase, you might wonder, as a manager, how can I support this person if they work in a remote environment? He's highly sociable, and now he's secluded at home. So how can this affect his well-being, productivity? What can I do to support him? So you don't have to train coaching. With this report, it can help you immediately be a coach by showing you how to have a dialogue with your people through understanding the strengths, the challenges of your direct reports of your people, and now with the management tips that come with the report. So I hope up until that they're clear. I hope the issues of echo are no longer there. Okay. So the third condition that we're going to be looking at that fits into building employee experience, and as a result, employee engagement, which improves company results, company revenue, is positive work environment. So this is all about designing inclusive and diverse winning teams that build on people's talents and skills and a positive dynamic in achieving mutual goals. In today's world, most of us are working remotely. Not all, but yeah, teams are operating from a distance. Every time people want to come together virtually, it becomes special because it rarely happens. Yeah, it is impossible. It's actually possible, sorry, to maintain a positive and nurturing environment, even much better when you're not in the same room, but seeing each other over the computer. And we're gonna see how this looks like. So, private teams provide crucial support during this time. They hold power to lead, encourage, fill in knowledge gaps, provide a creative path, and keep individuals motivated when motivation runs low. Yeah. So, however, even high performing teams encounter challenges, conflict, lack of alignment, personality clashes often between the teams in their spread and support a healthy culture. So while employees on teams might fit well in their individual roles, they might not fit together well. They might not fit in with the team of a certain organization. And this is what we want to address simply. It's not only important to it's not just enough to find the right fit for a job. It's also important to have the right people for the team. To create a positive work environment, we need the team fit. Flexible work environment, a culture of the recognition, and inclusive and diverse team members. So how does PXT help create a positive work environment? We do it by helping identify good team fit and by helping managers make objective talent decisions that foster inclusive and diverse teams. So the Select helps create a flexible work environment by providing data to help the managers better know their people. The better you know and understand each employee, the more likely you will be able to create a work environment that better meets their needs. So we also have the bit of Select enabling you to understand and value the members, the differences in the team members. The manager can, for example, tap these differences by pulling on one another's strengths because well balanced, high functioning team. So the PXT Select is a perfect tool to use for diversity because it is completely objective. Yeah, can hire people based on results, not for the group. And finally, the Select gives you the information on each individual, know where they are, what they need, how to motivate, communicate. This becomes foundational for creating and sustaining a culture for recognition. So how does this look like? How does arranging a perfect team to know that the Select look like? So with data from the Select assessment, managers can assemble teams out of people whom they know can do their job effectively and work with others positively and productively. So while matching one person to a single role, So, I mean, while matching one person to a single role has its, like, even though it has its own challenges, matching a whole team of individuals to each other and to the work itself means a whole other set of variables to consider. Yeah. So having the data to inform and expand this decision can make all the differences between success and struggle and build change. The thing report is another of the PXT Select reports that is a great tool for predicting team dynamics. Based on the information provided, you can make better informed talent decisions. It compares potential candidates and team members against each other to provide insights on their behavioral characteristics and what might be areas of strength or challenges. So at a glance, shows you, for example, now with what with the example that's on screen, it shows you where Oliver appears across the various traits and compares them against the other people on the team. So something, this information, when managers have a better awareness of the group dynamics and where people fall the behavioral spectrum, they can effectively develop that goal and coach them to success. So, for example, there are guys who are, maybe you have in a team, three people are more assertive or closer to being more forceful in the assertive spectrum. And then you have one person who is less assertive. So when you have that kind of information, it helps you even know how to handle different persons. You get to see that they can maybe sometimes feel frustrated because they're not included as much in probably discussions, since they won't really be on the run in sharing out what they think or what they the suggestions that they do. So can maybe from that develop a culture of having or maybe a setup, or have someone design a setup that will probably include everyone or involve everyone in terms of the suggestions and giving out opinions. You can say a link with question and answers, how you need to develop on say a certain project, or like instead of bringing everyone forward and people that guys are going to apply that, then you can decide to take a different context so that everybody participating and feeling included in how this situation. So yeah, so as explained, the team report gives you the dynamic of the team that you have, and it helps you compare potential activities of the team members against provide type of their behavioral characteristics. So the fourth condition that is helpful to build employee experience growth opportunities. So this touches on providing personal and professional opportunities to the people so that they can grow. And how does this look like? Yeah, giving employees opportunities to grow can make a significant difference. So top performing employees enjoy a good challenge, the chance to solve problems and opportunities to learn and develop new skills. And just think about it. If an individual wants to advance their careers, increase their job security, and improve their marketability skills, they're going to want plenty of opportunities to grow, learn, and develop while in their job. And I'm sure that's true for of you. So the growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership. And we're going to see when organizations fail to provide talented employees with opportunities to develop their talented skills, or when they fail at providing the top on the job training, those employees often see growth opportunities elsewhere. So this is where you get to experience high turnover. But and high turnover costs the company expensive. If you hire, yeah. So career mobility is also a key ingredient, placing gifted workers where they're most likely to succeed and giving them opportunities for growth, allowing organizations to engage and retain their workforce fully. So having the right data to determine which person is best suited for each role And knowing what they need to feel challenged and supported can make all the difference. So how does PXT Select help managers provide those opportunities for their people, which is through the individual report that we provide, is now the access here. So PXT Select empowers managers to help the employees develop their skills. The job today, job growth it begins with awareness, self-awareness. So when the manager is able to provide the actionable data gathered from the PXT, the employee has a great understanding of it. So we have the individual feedback report that provides guidance for decision for the report. So this is the initial report that is recommended to share with you. So it tells them how they are, where they are, and what are the strengths and challenges. So they're not just planning to grow from a life point of view, but they are informed. They know this is what I'm good at. They also need to put in more effort. And into this system. Someone who experiences this in an organization and even during a hiring process will not forget. Yeah. And that's a really good tip during our hires when we provide this assessment. And it's always good to have this candidate go home with the individual report because then they know that they have something to work with moving forward. So yeah, it's a really good guideline for you as an individual. It's literally more of like a self-love kind of thing. So the next tip on growth opportunities is the aspect of the coaching report again. So with the coaching report, a manager can help an employee develop to their full potential or help current employee identify their challenges and improve their job performance. So there is also a sales report for you provides the same benefits as a coaching report, but with a focus on sales position. So it uses sales-related languages all throughout the report. So the report is an excellent coaching resource and provides narrative feedback about an employee, though it depends to the hiring manager instead of to the employee. Until now, or rather, you will be able to share with you separate report that you have a better view of what I mean. The nitty-gritty of the report gives you a guideline. We are talking about this a lot about doing the manager employee relationship. So the report gives you a guideline understanding even when I'm having that conversation with the direct report, it becomes a growth opportunity because then this person knows, okay, so as much as I'm this person, I got in the 2 years, there are areas that I actually handle. So it doesn't just because you have a challenge, for example, and you can't explore the field of exercising, what are the things that you can work on to be better? Because the higher you go, then there's a lot of conversation with stakeholders, and so having that piece of being able to communicate and socialize even if that you don't know is important. So you don't have to be limited to the level. With the coaching report, with now the employee discussion on this go level. So next, we're going to look at the key condition, which is now trust leadership. So this is the last condition for creating a stronger employee experience. So it's all about having employees trust the leaders. It's not just enough to have leaders on board. In the current, let me say, era, the current HR era that we're in, employees want to feel that they can actually believe in and trust in the people who have been put in place to be their leaders. So when employees align team, you build a really strong sense of commitment. You build an environment where really nobody wants to leave. So during times of change and crisis, it is so important for not only leaders, but for everyone to operate with a leadership mindset. Everyone to bring the person that business performance is, they need to feel that the business performance is in the hands that they're actually needed. So acting with a certain set of values and behaviors is what makes or the great. So we get to see people want to contribute. They want to be part of something bigger. They want to be part of a community of people that aspire to achieve a common mission that makes a positive difference in their lives. So today's employees are craving transparency. And with the PXT Select, the set of reports empowerment that manages to help employees fully develop in their job today and tomorrow's job. So every employee can know the landscape of jobs and the people with whom they are working. Ultimately, eventually, the leader's responsibility to communicate this mission clearly and to authentically share the strategies, to accomplish this mission with enthusiasm so that it acts as a source of inspiration for everyone's organization. So the leader's job is to rally the troops towards this mission, where the return is far greater than strong financial results. One where all stakeholders benefit, that's now the employees, the workers, partners, and so leadership can be complex and still at the same time simple. So the thing is, and we had a discussion about this in the last webinar, is that anyone leadership isn't a title you're born. It's not earned through degrees or guidance. Leadership is proper training and practice can help one become a better leader while performing their role or work. One truth remains certain about leadership is for everyone. Understanding the causes of leadership won't really fix all your organization's problems, but it can provide enough the direction and insight for your organization to foster the basic traits that lead to effective leadership down the road. So you might not know where this can lead, but again, through this select assessment, you know that it starts on solid ground. And we will get to see this with now the leadership skills that we address. One being now create vision. So the select support the development of the skills between teams and individuals by focusing on the critical leadership skills. So these first three skills focus on the organization. So we're going to look at first three skills that focus on the organization strategy. One being creating a vision. So just cultivate information about this. Campaign leaders who excel at creating a vision imagine new direction, new ideas, and innovation for the future. So they think big and redefine the boundaries of what's possible for their team, organization. The second bit is now developing strategies. So this team focuses on transforming goals and ideas into action plans, both basic and achievable. So to do this, leaders must transform their organization's unique resources and challenges and use this knowledge to be agents of change. Finally, we have now the third lead for organization strategies now ensuring results. So leaders who ensure results implement organizational priorities and make sure these priorities get carried out accurately and efficiently. So result-oriented leaders will set the pace of work and establish expectations of quality through their team. Yeah. Then the the second bit, the other half of the six leadership skills touches on now people strategy. The first one being now inspire people. So leaders inspire those who are around them when they create, by creating clarity and unity around ideas. Effective leaders communicate with contagious enthusiasm while approaching new endeavors and convince ourselves for the merit behind the cause. You want to be the people's champion in a nutshell. Yeah. The second bit is now being approachable. As a leader, being approachable encourages team members to seek clarification, address concerns, and present ideas. So you create a sense of openness to people and help them build their morale by making others, they help the team build their morale by making them feel hard, which is actually really, really important. Finally, we have the bit of mentoring others. So effective leaders know that mentoring others is an investment in the future of the organization. They help their team members develop the skills, connection, and confidence to do their job more effectively during the next generation of leaders. So the report will look something like this. With now a breakdown of what exactly is looked at under each bit of the leadership skills. So for creating a vision, we have decisiveness, the concept of decisiveness, judgment, and creative address. And then for developing strategies, we have the composite score, which is just a person's cognitive ability. We have conformity, touching on stability and judgment. Then for ensuring results, we have the aspect of pace, assertiveness, and decisiveness that is explored. We have inspired people, the bit of sociability, outlook, surprising. Then we have the approachable, there is assertiveness, sociability, and accommodating. Finally, we have mentoring others, that is into outlook, accommodating, and people service. So the report is intertwined to a candidate score, because all the reports are linked to one session. So once a candidate does one assessment, then you get to see the job pitch report, which is a comprehensive report. From that, you get to enjoy the employee report, get to have the coaching report, there's this now leadership report, then there's the virtual generation investment report. So the scores of one candidate and what I use all across the board, and you get to see now from this report how it becomes very important. First of all, the things that we can afford them during hiring, and if we're doing some of the organization, understanding how to build them yeah, and that is part of the process. So so this is